Hi there, I'm Steve from Steve's Workshop. Today we're going to be completing the carving of the Always With Us sign that a customer has requested. Now I'm going to be starting with the lettering itself because it's going to take the most time is the lettering. The angel itself doesn't take that much carving, there's just a bit of background work that needs to go into it, but you'll see as we go along just how that's created. Now I'm going to be using my trusted DeWalt, and I'm going to be using a CNC bit, 30 degree CNC bit. Now I'm only going to go down about 3mm each sweep. So every time I go around everything, it'll be 3mm till I get to the required depth, because the CNC bits don't tend to have that strength in them that you can just go down, say, 1/4 of an inch. You've got to do it slowly. Plus, the less you take off at once, the more chance you've got of completing your sign without really any hiccups. The more you take off, one slight dig or all like that, it could destroy the sign. Now I'm running at 3mm on this one, so I'm going to flip the camera over and it'll take you to the DeWalt itself, and we'll just crack on and we'll just get the lettering carved out. Now I'll do a couple of letters and then I will fast forward the video, because the last thing you want to do is sit there while I spend the next 20 minutes, half an hour just cutting out the lettering. You know, it's not going to make a nice video just to keep watching, so I will speed that bit up till I get to the end. Then we'll move on to the carving out the centres of the letters once I've been around the profiles, and then we'll move on to the angel and so on until the sign's completed. So without saying ado, we'll just move on. Right, so as you can tell, I've gone round it the first time. you don't have to worry about staying to the edge all the time, as long as you don't go wander too far out of the writing that you can't bring it back. Otherwise, you're going to make the letter bigger, and it's just going to look odd. Because the next depth I go down, obviously the 30-degree angle bit that it's got, it will go closer to the line in the same depth anyway. So because the bit starts at a point and it goes up like a chamfer, so the deeper you go, the wider the chamfer is anyway. So you don't need to worry about going so far to the edge. But it also doesn't matter if you hit something in the wood and it wanders a little bit, because the next pass will clean that up, providing you do it slowly, because the last thing you want to do is keep going down and hitting that same depth. But like I say, I've done the first round now, so we've just to clean this up now, and then go back round it another depth, and then we can go down with background. I'll be right back. Hi there. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start with the angel itself. So I'm going to carry on and carve this out. I will speed it up again, because you don't really want to watch me carve it all the time, because like I said, it could become boring video. So I'll crack on with that. I just need to reduce the depth that I'm running at. Like I said, I'm only going to run it the first time at about 3 mil, 3.5 mil, 4 mil, just for the first cut basically, and then I'll run it a little bit deeper. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to self-swap to the DeWalt camera, and we'll crack on with that now. So if I put the glasses back on, and let's fire away. Right, so all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take the backing paper off, so I can actually access the carving that I've created. So I can just send the router, the CNC bit, just a little bit deeper to give me more depth. So if I just peel this off, like I said, it comes off relatively easy, because I just use carpet spray instead of the proper glue stuff, because I found that I can't get the glue stuff back off without it leaving some kind of residual on my board. And then, like, if I were to do this now and run around with router, the router basically gets stuck to the board. So I like the carpet glue, but it's preference really. Nearly there, nearly all off now. I'm not bothered about the little bits of bats, because it will sand off. It's just prefer to get them off if I can. Just less things for the router to catch on, that's all. Right, so if we grab a stiff brush now, I'll just give that a brush just to get the sawdust out of it. Right, so if I can find a blade again, just to take that off there. If I show you what we've got so far, is this. Now, as you can tell, it's a lot deeper on this side because I've gone through a bit deep. But if I put it to the camera, you can see the outline of the angel. I'm just going to now run it a little bit deeper, just so there's more of a profile into it. So if I'm going to swap you back to the camera now, and then we'll carry on with that. Right, so we've gone around the angel now for the last time, so we'll just give it a good clean out, and you should be able to see a little difference now when I hold it up, that it's got a lot deeper. So now you can see that compared to what it was before, it's pretty, stands out a lot better now. That's because we've gone down pretty deep now, and obviously when we do the background again we go even deeper, so that's why it pops out once it's painted up and varnished. All the angel and the lettering will pop out, and that's what you want. You're trying to do 3D lettering in a sense. But what I'll do now is I'll crack on and I'll set up for the background on the lettering and the angel, and we'll crack on with that. Right, I've set up now. I'm using my little Zen router now. It's got a 60-degree bit in it that'll help me clear out and leave a nice texture in the back. Now this router, I haven't got a camera built on top of this one like I do with the DeWalt, so I can't get the close-up of the router actually doing the work. So what I'll do is I'll fire on and just get all the background done, and then we'll come back and see what it looks like. So put my glasses on. As you can see, you get into a bit of a mess when you're doing the background, because there's so much that has to come off it that he just throws it everywhere. So now we just get a stiff brush and just give it a light coat. And what I want to show you is the texture that you get from I don't know if the camera can actually pick it up, but you get a texture finish on it. You'll see better when it's painted up and glossed up. So what I'm going to do, off camera, I'm now going to go and set this up properly. I mean, finish the lettering and everything like that, and we'll come back and have a look what it looks like. And just to think, if you see me looking down every now and again, I've got no camera person with me, so I'm having to do it all myself. So I'm looking down for the mouse to find out where it is, where the cursor is. So I'm sorry about that. But what I'll do, I'll go ahead, get the rest of it cut out, then we'll come back and see what it looks like. Hi there. Right, I've now give it all. The background has all been completed. I've given it a good sand, just to let you know what it actually looks like now. It looks pretty good. The only thing I'm going to do today now is on this video is I'm just going to give it some sealer, just with a bit of lacquer, that's all, because when we paint it, I don't want it to bleed into the outer wood that's going to be sandy, because it just looks a mess. And pine's got a problem with that. It bleeds into itself. It soaks all the paint up into the grain, and you don't matter how much you sand it, you'd have to sand the wood completely away to get rid of it, because we are pretty deep in the timber itself. So on the next video, we'll go through painting it, sanding it, and all the edges and everything like that. And then the video after that will be lacquering it, which then will give it its final finish. But at least all I've been wanting to do is give you a sample of what, from start to finish to a degree, of the carving and that. I've done all this just with a relatively cheap bit, you know, a 30 degree and a 60 degree CNC bit, but I've still got the same kind of quality that I wanted. It just took a little bit more time, that's all. So what we'll do now, we'll just go through and we'll just give it a coat of lacquer just to seal that wood in for when we do paint it, that's all. So the process for that, what we use for the lacquering, what I use, is I just use the polyurethane varnish. That's all I use. It's just good for, it's from Plasticoat, but it's good just to seal the wood in, that's all. But we'll just fire some on, and all we do is just go one way. You don't need to put it on heavy, just a light coat. Like I said, it's just to seal the edges of the wood. And then we'll just turn it round and just fire. You don't want to blast it on. We're not varnishing. We're not varnishing it. All we're doing is just making sure that we don't bleed with the paint. And then we'll just give the scalloping a quick coat, just so it's, because it's freshly cut wood. Like I said, you don't need to go crazy. Just a slight mist will do it. And that's it. That's all we do. Then we just leave that to completely dry now. But at least we know now that when it's time for us to give that a coat of paint, we're not going to have this trouble with bleeding, because we don't use ink anyway. I don't use ink. A lot of people use marsh ink and stuff like that to get the colour in. I don't really want to, I don't do that kind of stuff, but you'll see the process that I go through to do it, and what it entails down to the lacquering, the finishing, so then the customer hopefully can have this. So that's about it. So apart from that, it looks a nice, it's going to be a nice sign when it's all complete. Then the angel and the writing will pop out, and your profiling on the end, the scalloping on the end will look brilliant when it's amazing when it's done, and it'll all tie together when it's time to finish it, basically. But all I can say is thanks for watching, and I hope you're enjoying them. But they do take a bit longer than expected, because certain signs do take a bit longer, and I will try and keep them down to short little videos in the future, and be more prepared. Like I said, I'm trying to do the camera as well as the router in at the same time at the moment because I don't have nobody here to do the camera. So I'm sorry if it's gone a bit pear-shaped. But apart from that, we'll catch up on the next video of painting this thing and getting it all sanded all back. So thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.